What's up guys, Mickle here, and we have three massive events taking place tomorrow for the entire cryptocurrency industry. In this video, we're going to break down what those three events are. Now I know one of them, I think we all know what it is. It's the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass emails being released to the public. In this video, I want to show you what Brad Garlinghouse just had to say about these emails, because guys, there has been a lot of people speculating, are these going to be as bad as people actually think they are? I want to show you what Brad Garlinghouse had to say about this and talk about two other huge events taking place. Guys, this week is going to be absolutely insane. I want to prepare you for everything we're going to see, so make sure to stick around for this whole video. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start this video off and talk about the first piece of massive news taking place tomorrow, and that is we have the start of the Binance versus SEC fight. Now you might be thinking, why is this such a big deal for all of cryptocurrency? I mean, it's just Binance, why does it really matter for XRP holders? Well guys, let me just tell you, what the SEC is trying to do against Binance here is absolutely insane, and it would impact the entire cryptocurrency market. The SEC is not only just saying Binance is selling illegal securities, the SEC is not only just going after Binance US, the SEC is trying to shut down all of Binance. Now you might be thinking that me saying that is some kind of exaggeration, but it's actually not. The SEC filed an emergency order to the court saying that the court needs to freeze all of Binance's assets. And like I said, this is not just Binance US, they are trying to freeze every asset at all of Binance. Guys, this is absolutely insane because the SEC does not have jurisdiction outside the United States. So the SEC is trying to overstep their jurisdiction and go after all of Binance, shutting down its exchange in every single country around the world. Now, this is extremely shocking, and we're going to have a court hearing tomorrow in regards to this, whether or not a judge is going to let the SEC do this. But I thought one thing that was extremely interesting is Binance actually responded to this motion and said, look, we don't have to go to this extreme. We will give you all the assets at Binance US. We will give you the private keys to control these assets in the meantime while this case is going on, so that way you don't have to worry about some crazy event happening in the United States. You'll have the keys to all these assets. You won't have to worry about us running away and stealing them. And the SEC flat out rejected this offer. Now, in my opinion, this was a very fair offer by Binance, and they were essentially telling the SEC, look, we're not going to let you shut down our entire exchange. We'll shut down what we're doing in the US. We'll give you control of all the assets so you don't have to worry about US customers. So that way, in the meantime, while this case goes on and we figure out whether or not we did break the law, you can make sure you kept customers safe, but we're going to still operate our business in places the SEC doesn't have jurisdiction. Now, like I said, the SEC completely shut this down, so now we're going to have a hearing tomorrow in regards to this. Now, the other reason this is super interesting is because Meta Lawman actually said the lawyer who is representing Binance served for the SEC for 20 years and is very, very highly regarded. So it's going to be super interesting to watch him battle the SEC. I mean, guys, you do not have someone like this who is highly regarded and worked at the SEC taking on the SEC in a case like this unless they have a pretty good argument. So this is going to be super interesting to watch play out. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute battle. Now, I don't think it is realistic at all that the SEC is going to get an order from the judge forcing Binance to freeze all its assets all around the world, but I do think it's possible they do get an order that forces Binance to freeze the assets in the United States. Either way though, guys, this battle is going to be fascinating, and like I said, if Binance is forced to freeze all its assets all around the world, it's going to kill Binance, and that's going to be a black swan scenario. I don't think that's going to happen, but I hope this helps you understand why this is such an important event. Now, something else very interesting that happened earlier today, and I'm not even counting this as one of the three major events, so that just shows what we're dealing with this week. We actually had Congressman Warren Davidson propose a bill to fire Gary Gensler and restructure the SEC. Now, guys, Although I've heard from John Deaton that it's not likely this bill will actually pass, this is absolutely shocking that we are seeing something like this. It just shows that people in Congress are completely fed up with the way Gary Gensler is running the SEC. And even more exciting than that, though, we're actually going to have Warren Davidson on a Twitter space tomorrow talking about this new bill to fire Gary Gensler. Overall, I think this is a really exciting step forward, and I do have to give people like Warren Davidson credit. He is trying his hardest to rein in Gary Gensler, and guys, these congressmen by themselves really don't have a lot of power, so he's really just going out on a limb here, trying to throw something out there to put pressure on Gary Gensler. I do, in fact, think it is going to put pressure on Gary Gensler. I think it's probably a little too hopeful to think this bill passes, but guys, it is just one more shot to Gary Gensler. Eventually, all these body shots are going to keep adding up, and he's going to find himself in a position where he can't take any more. Overall, I love this by Warren Davidson. Like I said, whether or not it passes, it's still Warren Davidson really just listening to what people in the XRP community have been saying, listening to what people in the cryptocurrency community have been saying, and doing something about it. Now, with all that said, I do find it extremely interesting that he proposed this bill today. He is going to be on a Twitter space tomorrow, all while we have one of the craziest events in crypto history taking place, and that is the SEC being forced to release the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass emails. Now, guys, this is going to be absolutely fascinating. My biggest fear around this event was that Ripple was just saying these emails were really bad. They were just going out to the public and saying, okay, these things are extremely damning to try to put pressure on the SEC. But Brad Garlinghouse actually did something today that I thought was pretty substantial. He actually went out and tweeted that he wished he could talk about the emails now, but they have waited 18 months and he doesn't want to overstep anything. He said, suffice it to say, Stuart Alderati and I believe they will be well worth the wait. So I thought this was really interesting. It's Brad Garlinghouse doubling down that these SEC emails are going to be bad, and what comes out of this, I don't necessarily know. I have heard from multiple lawyers that these won't have any drastic impact on whether or not XRP is a security. But guys, I think it's fair to say the SEC might take a massive reputational hit with this. We already see Democrats who align with Gary Gensler politically turning against him. That is something I never expected to see in a million years. With the state of politics we are in the United States right now, stuff like that just doesn't happen. So the fact that we already have Democrats turning against Gary Gensler, we have a large number of Republicans obviously against Gary Gensler, whether or not it's because of crypto or not, they just do that. That's how politics work in the United States. He is going to really have a lot of pressure on him. We see Warren Davidson bringing this new bill to completely remove him from office. And guys, like I was saying earlier, this is going to be a huge body shot to the SEC. Now, I think this is a big reason why a lot of the bills we see being proposed in Congress right now really don't give the SEC any authority over the cryptocurrency industry. Yes, the SEC will get authority over like staking products and centralized solutions that create yield. Those things are securities. We kind of have to get over that. But in terms of the crypto tokens themselves being securities, I don't think anyone in Congress really trusts the SEC anymore. This is going to be a massive step forward in proving that all this jargon the SEC has been throwing around, talking about how it's all been clear how these assets have always been securities, I think this is going to go a long way in showing that the SEC has not been being truthful, and instead they have been bringing enforcement actions against this industry in bad faith. Now, I'm not going to sit here in this video and speculate one day before these emails are going to become public. I just want to wait and see what comes out of these things. But guys, I will say the fact that Brad Garlinghouse went out of his way to confirm these emails are in fact bad and are worth the wait, it makes me really excited for what we're going to see tomorrow. And guys, I think Ripple, after this gets released tomorrow, is going to be in a stronger position than ever to flat out win this case and show the world that not only is XRP not a security, the SEC knew XRP wasn't a security, and they brought this case simply to do what the XRP community has been saying since day one, to give Ethereum a free pass gas to try to give Ethereum a monopoly on the market and try to slow down the most important cryptocurrency out there, XRP. So I want to finish this video off and talk about the last extremely important event for the cryptocurrency industry taking place tomorrow, and that is that we are getting US CPI data. We are seeing the inflation data for the United States, and you might be wondering, how does this impact cryptocurrency? I'll make it nice and simple for you guys, but let me just say real quick, every single person who is an analyst, every single big bank, every single big institution thinks inflation is killing the US economy. What we are learning is inflation is falling off a cliff and is expected to fall even faster over the next couple months. This could be extremely bullish for the markets because the Federal Reserve has been trying to kill inflation. By trying to kill inflation, they have been jacking up interest rates, and as a result of that, risk assets have been hurt. I don't have enough time in this video to break down why risk assets are hurt when the Federal Reserve hikes inflation, but just understand it is absolutely horrible for risk assets for the Federal Reserve to be jacking up interest rates. What we are seeing, though, is the Fed might have won their war on inflation as we see inflation plummet back to normal levels. If we can obtain normal levels of inflation, the Federal Reserve will actually be able to start cutting interest rates, and guys, that would cause an explosion in the markets. We are seeing a lot of very smart economists coming out and saying right now, inflation is already much lower than many people understand, and guys, the more I see smart people breaking this down, the more I start to find myself completely in line with these people, and I think if we find out tomorrow that inflation is below 4% or even at the projection of 4.2%, we could end up in an extremely bullish scenario for the entire cryptocurrency market. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. Tomorrow is going to be an insane day. I can't wait to do a video tomorrow breaking all of this down. But for now, Mickle out.